Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Trap on the Boom Bust channel, a Bears podcast by a Bears fan. I'm your host, Terry, and today, talking about the heartbreaking loss against the Cleveland Browns. Now, I'm not going to be here long. I'm going to talk about the game real quick, playoffs, and then I got some stuff to get off my chest. All right, we lost the game. Game was very close. I thought it was perfect. I thought it was the perfect type of game that I envisioned us having, or at least everything kind of rolling that way. So you had a rainy Cleveland day, rainy Midwest day. That's what we got. Thankfully, no snow. But either way, I thought conditions wouldn't be perfect, so that would give us a chance to play good defense, play tough, and then on offense really grind it out. Now, this might be on me because the one time I take Justin Fields for 50 yards rushing on my bets, he does nothing in the first half. He ends up picking up yards later, but we really didn't use Justin Fields the way we should have. And it's so funny and ironic. Obviously not funny to probably some of y'all, but as I talked about Justin Fields before, and I talked about the type of offense and what's sustainable, what wins games, this is the game that you should have leaned into it. Now, there's a couple plays that are options or whatever. That's his decision. Fine. But there was not a concerted effort to get Justin Fields out in open space like there's been in other games. Now, make no mistake, I would say the biggest chunk of Justin's yards are unscheduled, missing a sack and then taking off, stuff like that. So I would say 60-40. So 40% is manufactured, 60% is off schedule. And he didn't have a lot of off schedule huge plays this game. But still, I just didn't think that we leaned enough into it because, as I've said before, I've been very consistent about this. When it comes to Justin, when it comes to Lamar, when it comes to any offense that's built this way, if you are tied or up or even down 3, you are in the spot where you can be unpredictable. And so when we're pretty much most of the game tied and then, or the first half, then we're up, we have the ability to do those types of things that I would say aren't sustainable. But when you're up, you can do them. And I just didn't see us do that. Yeah, we had some play action here and there. But overall, I just thought the run game, it wasn't the Justin Fields focused type offense that we usually do. And it was so weird because this was the game for that. Again, you're going against Cleveland. Besides the quote unquote, reputation of Cleveland, you got a fourth string technically quarterback, guy off the practice squad, veteran, but guy off the practice squad. You got a bunch of injuries on the team in general. I saw them talking about the team and the injuries this week. Man, before this week, they've been banged up. That obviously not a team that's at full strength. And you're on the road. That's not great. But again, the conditions aren't going to be great. And this team isn't necessarily prolific on either side of the ball. Tough defense, not prolific. Offense, not prolific at all. And so I just thought this was the perfect setting for us to do what we do, which is put you in conflict, whether it's Foreman, honestly, any of them. If it's Foreman, if it's Herbert, if it's Johnson, put you in conflict with them, Justin Fields, and then a perimeter. Because look, DJ Moore and Mooney, and I'll get to Mooney later, excellent yak. Even Kmet. So you have a 3-way go. This is the perfect high school, college type offense of day to run. And I just don't think we executed like that. I think we really tried to get into an offense that wasn't comfortable for us, especially against a team that pass rushes well. Make no mistake, we did a great job pass protecting. I think we're past that. I mean, we'll see what Tevin Jenkins does as far as injury, but full strength, even though I think we need a better center, full strength, I think we're past that. The pass protection is good enough. He was not under siege like instantly. We're not going to do that because here's the thing, and this is a little bit of a tangent, but if we're going to criticize Daniel Jones, and I don't mean Bears fans, but people in general, and say, oh, well, DeVito did it with the same O line, and we're going to ignore the factors, we got to do the same thing here. Um, this is not under siege because no one gave Daniel Jones a pass for being under siege as soon as the snap was as soon as he got the snap. Same thing, honestly, with Trubisky. Same thing with other players. Like no one gave them the benefit of the doubt. So if we're not going to give them the benefit of the doubt, I'm not giving Justin Fields the benefit of the doubt when the time wasn't as bad as some other situations are. So he had enough time. I just thought we really messed up the rhythm on offense a lot. I mean, we didn't pretty much do anything until we got a turnover. And even when we got the turnover that put us within the goal line, we could not execute correctly. And so, look, at the end of the day, I told you I don't think this is a playoff team. I don't think we deserve to make playoffs. But the situation that presented us, we can make. Now, I'm not telling you it's over. I honestly don't think it's over because, as I said before, this league is wild this year, and that's just how it is. So I do think there's a possibility we can still get in, but the best possibility for us is 8 wins. It's going to take a lot of losses going on for us to sneak into the playoffs, but it's still possible. As I said before, Detroit was our biggest test. We could afford to lose that. We won that, so that helps a lot. That keeps us alive. But Cleveland was our next biggest test. If we had won both of those, besides the mathematics, the momentum would have been so crazy. I think Atlanta and Arizona had no chance in Soldier Field. But we still got a chance. It's not as much as it was before. Again, I was just strictly talking about the situation we found ourselves in. It wasn't a prediction. It wasn't like, hey, we're so great. It was just, hey, look, where we are, what talent we got in this situation, we can make it to the playoffs. And today was such a opportunity wasted. It was. I mean, the defense, people are coming around to. First of all, if you really look at it, Edmonds, I would say mainly Edmonds, but I would say we weren't healthy fully a lot early on. In this last stretch, we've been healthy. Obviously, we bring in Montez Sweat, which I think is a big piece. I think it's an overblown piece the way watching the game today, the media, oh, since Sweat got here, they've been doing it. Like, Sweat's a great addition, don't get me wrong, but I think that's a little bit overblown. But still, we're healthy. We had time, and yes, it does mean something when you don't have a coordinator and you're one less person on staff. That's not to say, oh, I forgot his name. The last guy couldn't coach, or Eberflus is so much better than him, or we're not going to do all that. The fact of the matter is, it's all about time. And so the time that Eberflus had to put into different things with a coordinator is different than what he has to do with no coordinator, and he has to take over that role. That's not to say he somehow fixed the defense. Again, I've been talking all year. The defense has been way underrated, and then we'll be healthy. It just takes a lot of gelling. But the defense did their job, and the offense, like I said, you get the ball, I think it was within the 5, maybe within the 3 goal line, and we end up scoring. But look at how much of a struggle it was. That tells you all you need to know about the offense. It tells you. And so there's a different conversation there, but you look at this game and it was just opportunity wasted. I mean, I heard people talking about calls at the half and this and that. At the end of the day, the offense did not execute at all. And I don't mind the 4th down call, because that's probably one of the calls people going to point to, because people love to do that. They love to boil it down to one play when that's not the case. But the fourth down call is one of those calls that people are going to look at. It was 4th and 2, 3, something like that. But they lined up under center, faked it one way, reversed out the other way. It was a great play call. Justin Fields got tripped up. That's all it is. And so I'm okay with that call to go for it. I like the play call. All of it was good. It just, that's football. So I have no problem with that. No issues. And overall, I think it was the game I thought it was going to be. I don't want to keep repeating that, but it was ugly. It was messy. Defense gave us a lot of chances. The offense wasn't going to be great, especially against this defense, but it should give us a chance. And it just didn't fall the way we should have. So there it is. But we still got a chance. So we got to keep watching next week. I would say next week. First of all, if we lose to the Cardinals, it's over. But it's really going to depend on the other teams. Green Bay lost this week. The Vikings end up losing on a miracle. The Bucks won. I mean, now the thing is, the NFC South with the Bucks and Saints winning, that's kind of giving a little bit of more competition. But the thing is, we need the Giants to lose, especially if we would have won, because then the Giants would have been behind us. That would no longer be a threat, which I never thought they were. The Packers would have lost. Vikings would have lost. We would have won. We would have been in great position, but it is what it is. So, going off of that, man, and I fully acknowledge this is me reacting to the media and the masses, but after the game, I went on a run and I was listening to the radio and looking at Twitter, and so this is fully me reacting to that. It's a couple things, man. First of all, number one, I've been saying this already. I ain't got much to say. The bashing of the coaches is crazy. I already saw some people on Facebook and Twitter talking about the coaching was bad. And again, I already know it. You're going to point at the fourth down. You're going to point at the Hail Marys that are going, like, a couple plays, you're going to say, okay, we lost this game because of bad coaching. But we're going to ignore all the things that the team did to be in position to win the game. Yes, we end up blowing it, but I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, bad coaching. To me, honestly, watching the game, it was bad execution more than anything else. And that starts with the O-line. And again, you're going against a great front, but that starts with the O-line, and that goes on up. That's not to say all the play calls were great. That's not to say all the decisions were great, but the execution, I'm not going to excuse. The execution was bad as well. And so, in the Eberflus thing, like, I honestly, I'm going to be honest, 670 score, I was listening to a conversation that made my mind melt. It was so stupid. And talking about the resume. And so here's the thing with sports media. The big thing that really pisses me off is that people frame things whatever way they want to. So you got a problem with Eberflus. Now, you can easily talk about this game in terms of Justin Fields. You can easily talk about this game in terms of the O-line. You could talk about this game in terms of Getsy. They chose to talk about Eberflus. So now, while acknowledging all the broadcasts and all these weeks how the defense is great, the narrative is Eberflus made the defense better. He upgraded it. But then, I'm not saying that's true, but if that's your case, but then you still in the same breath gonna say Eberflus lost this game. The offense Eberflus couldn't get the offense to do anything. Wait, what? Now, again, I don't agree with the defensive-minded coach and all that. That stuff is stupid to me. But still, that's how the narrative is. So we're going to call him a defensive-minded coach. We're going to say the defense is great. We're going to say the defense numbers, look at what happened since he took over. But then in the same breath, we're going to say he lost us the game because the offense couldn't do nothing. So now we're going to blame him for the offense. And we're going to say, at the end of the day, the team lost. Eberflus lost the game. They didn't say Justin Fields lost the game. They said Eberflus lost the game. That makes 3 games this year where Eberflus lost us the game with the lead. So you get to now just say Eberflus did this because words are powerful. I don't care if people say semantics. They can say what they want. Words mean something. And so we're going to frame it as Eberflus lost us this. Eberflus didn't coach well, but we're going to contradict ourselves with the defense and everything else. So my point being is it's all BS, because depending on how you want to frame it, you can blame anybody you want. And if you are a listener of this channel, you know what I'm going to say. You know what better Bears fans think. It's everybody. It is a recipe of everybody. And it gets under my skin to listen to the dumb conversation. Last thing I'm going to say, Darnell Mooney, and I mean this so much. Darnell Mooney is an excellent receiver. The conversation, and again, transparency, 670 to score. That's why I heard this. They said you're not going to win with Darnell Mooney, or when you're a better team, Darnell Mooney is your second receiver. Excuse me. I will take Darnell Mooney over so many receivers in the league. Receivers that people think are good, receivers that have been productive number-wise, receivers just that are just on better teams. I would take Darnell Mooney over all of them. Don't get it twisted. You could check the tape. I was a big fan of Rashee Rice. Big fan of Rashee Rice in this draft. Rashee Rice doing good things. Darnell Mooney would be the best receiver on the Chiefs right now. Hands down. Hands down. And some people might say that don't mean much. But again, I can sit here and list a number of receivers I take Darnell Mooney over. And even bump the numbers and all that. Let's get down to evaluation. You want to talk about receiver? Tell me what Mooney don't have. Obviously, the speed. The speed is there. Real legit speed. You talking about the ball skills. Do not forget the type of catches this man has made for us. The immaculate catches he's made for us. You talking about the yak yards. You talk about the route running, deep route running, getting open deep, but then intermediate route running. He is a speed receiver and he's great. He's long and he's thin, but he's not scared. He's not scared to attack the ball. Yeah, he's not the best blocker, but he'll attack the ball and he'll run with the ball when he has it. And he's smart too. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, the coaches, whatever. I mean, I've done this before. And again, it might be my bias because I'm a coach. I've debated that. Coaches come and go. They still going to fire them either way. But I feel different with players, especially players that's been putting in the work while as best they can. The fact that people talk about receivers like they do is crazy, because I mean, and it goes hand in hand, but still, the receivers, if you throw the ball to them perfectly and they don't catch the ball, the quarterback don't get that stat. You could say, well, he had 4 touchdowns. And you could say the receivers, he made the receiver catch that. No, he didn't. The receiver drops it, it's over. There's all types of examples of that. And the same is reverse. Receiver could be wide butt open. If the quarterback can't get it to him, they can't get it to him. Now there are plays where a receiver bails out a quarterback, yes. But still, for the most part, they go hand in hand. So to sit here and act like Mooney isn't great because he didn't put up numbers with our situation, that's insane. And that's the type of stuff where if he's smart, he's going to go to a team that can compete and can get him the ball, and he's going to look like a superstar. So that's that. Anyway, go to the comment section. Let me know what you think. Share it around. Get the conversation started. Thumbs up, subscribe, and remember, stay up and bear down.